Clint Bowyer, Jamie McMurray, David Rudiman, Carl Edwards, and Greg Biffle, the top 5. Let's take an inside look at what's happening now in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint and Evo 4G, America's first 4G phone. Kevin Harvick, the point leader, despite some issues here tonight. Tony Stewart with the fastest lap time. For more NASCAR stats and live in-car audio, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile and the new Evo, only from Sprint, at sprint.com/speed.
That looks like a pretty cool phone. I wouldn't know how to work it, but I'd like to have it.
I couldn't tweet on it.
You're not allowed to tweet.
I'm not allowed to. I'm
But
on.
I can.
You can tweet.
Interesting.
I can't. That's you.
Hand it over, big boy.
I'm not handing it to you.
Talked about the issues with Kevin Harvick. What can you add, Larry?
Well, they were having some fuel pressure issues, and they talked about maybe looking at the fuel pump. Now, what you have to remember with the new Chevrolet R07 engine, these guys don't have that mechanical fuel pump on the right front. You have the cable-driven fuel pump. Now, this goes into the back of the bell housing, and it's driven off the back of the camshaft. It's kind of a safety issue. Now, the fuel pump is actually located in the trunk. Now, I'm going to use my Toyota cutaway engine and drivetrain to simulate. This is what that fuel pump looks like. It's a Waterman cable-driven fuel pump. What they did, they raised the hood. They made sure this cable was still working in the back of the bell housing. Phil Parsons told me that was good. Then they went to the trunk to make sure that everything looked good with the fuel pump. They actually did not find a thing. Now, this has been done for a safety standpoint, but it has had some flaws along the way.
So that the problem Kevin Harvick was facing, a different issue for his teammate on pit road a moment ago. Marty?
Yeah, Adam, for Jeff Burton, he lost 3 spots on that exchange of pit stops, going back to the 8th position. They had problems on the right rear. When they pulled it off, it didn't quite come off. They had to hit it one more time with the gun. Then they got the right rear off. Took a little bit extra, but those little bits cost the team a lot of time on pit road. Jeff Burton gave the team a pep talk afterwards, said, hey guys, we got plenty of time to get back in this game. We still have a car that can win the race. Adam.
Marty, TNT Monday, the summer's most thrilling news series. Meet television's next great team. Don't miss Rosali and Isles series premiere Monday 10/9 Central, only on TNT.
That cable thing, you know, anytime you introduce something new into it, and especially a cable run thing like that, they can have issues with them. Understand that's all for safety. That's all to keep the fires away. You know, we talked to NASCAR this morning about some of the fires and some of the issues and some of the things that they've addressed and their safety issues. This was strictly a safety thing to create that, to keep the fuel from pumping as the car crashes. Rob?
Let's go down to Phil Parsons.
Yeah, guys, I'm standing down with Robbie Gordon. First of all, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. That's a huge bummer for both of us. I mean, neither one of our teams are in positions to kill cars like that. I think he popped a tire. I started to go down around the middle groove trying to get down underneath him. He slid down last second and ran right dead in the side of him, so that sucks.
It looked like when the brakes were locked up, then the thing wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I just wouldn't turn, wouldn't do anything, so I tried to get back off him, but just wouldn't turn.
All right, sorry to see you out, bud.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Jimmy Johnson, one of the drivers that took the wave around under this caution. He was 2 laps now. Now he's 1 lap down, being scored in 31st. Jeff Gordon, the race leader, choosing the inside lane. Clint Boyard is outside. Pole sitter Jamie McMurray, who's led many laps here tonight, restarts 3rd. David Rudiman, Carl Edwards, the top 5.
Yeah, you see Stewart sitting in the 7th spot. He's worked his way back into the mix of this deal.
Green flag back in the air as we complete lap 188.
Ooh, there's that one car dance there on the inside. Boyer on the outside, right on his door.
Carl Edwards sliding backwards at the restart. Jamie McMurray getting aggressive as the green flag goes back in the air, as is David Rudiman.
Wow, something happened to Biffle. Something's wrong with Biffle. He just pulled out of line and he's losing spots left and right. He lost about 4 or 5 spots there.
Yeah, he was inside the top 5 and now trying to hang on to a position inside the top 10.
10-4, 98 still inside.
He may have lost the ignition box or something.
Yeah, because you're right. He went to the high side right.
One back to the 11 on the bottom.
Just got a report he may be losing the engine.
Yeah, you see these guys just driving by. Just as Wally said, they're working on they're working on the ignition. You heard him say switch the battery 2.
What's up, Phil?
Guys, Greg came over the radio and said, guys, I think it's blowing up. So that's that may be the issue for them, is that FR9 may be going away.
And, you know, we've seen a couple of those. We saw, obviously, the 9 car up at New Hampshire. I'm pretty sure that was the FR9, the new engine there. But, you know, you go through that cycle. It's like being a pilot. You go through that cycle of, okay, everything that could be wrong, let me go check it. Let's check batteries. Let's check ignition. Let's check this. Obviously, whatever it is, it's not running down the straightaway, but it seems to run down. Doesn't seem to run down the straightaway, but it can maintain in the corners.
Yeah, his RPMs are way off compared to the other cars. So he's lost a lot of RPMs in that engine.
But you see him able to maintain through the corners because he can almost run wide open.
Both ignition boxes. It dropped a valve or something.
Yeah.
Problems on track for Greg Biffle, and even bigger issues for the point leader Kevin Harvick, who has now taken his car to the garage. Up front, David Rudiman continues to run good here this evening, driving to the inside of Jamie McMurray and taking 3rd away.
He's been solid all night. He really has. I mean, he's been right up in the mix of it. He doesn't have the speed, it seems like, to get up there and lead, but he's a solid top 5 car tonight.
Yeah, he has just hovered there, 3rd and 4th all night long. No matter who led or who run 5th and 6th, he was 3rd or 4th right in there. And Truex, these 2 cars, Michael Waltrip Racing, these 2 cars out of that stable have been strong here.
And Rudiman's been good in recent weeks. He's picked up 10 positions in the standings in the last 8 races and stands to gain some more here tonight.
Yeah, and you saw him. He worked the one car. Couldn't get around him, but then you see him get around him, and instantly he takes off, and he's 5 or 6 car lengths within a lap or so.
And I was anxious to see how he handled things as we made that transition from day to night, because so many times cars will be in the top 10, and then once you go through that transition on track, a number of guys will drift back. Not been the case for Rudiman. He's been good from the start. And there you see Harvick. Phil?
Guys, I just talked to crew chief Gil Martin. He said they're going to change the fuel pump and the cable. He said we're not sure exactly which one it is. We're going to change both. He said then we'll know then. But unfortunately, it's going to be an extended stay behind pit wall in the garage area here.
Like I said, very humbling. Come off a win one week and you're sitting in the garage fixing it the next.
Kevin Harvick, a driver that's made a living off of starting at the back and finishing at the front. Not going to happen for the point leader tonight. Jeff Gordon going for his first win of the year at Chicago.
Let's throw on those Saturday clothes. It's doing season, when we grab a little spare time and get after it. The Home Depot has all the right prices and all the know-how to start making things happen. Less with our wallets and more with our own 2 hands. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, estate oak laminates at the new lower price of just 87 cents per square foot.
David Rudiman not messing around tonight in Chicago. He drove around Clint Boyer for 2nd, and he's beaten on Jeff Gordon's door for the lead.
He makes some time right here getting into turn 3. He dives to the bottom, picks up the gas, and was really good there for a lap or so. But Jeff's got that high line working right now and just got the momentum. And you heard these guys talk about this being a momentum racetrack. He has come from a ways back to run the leaders down.
David Rudiman's only victory coming last year at Charlotte. Very impressive there. Another 1.5 mile track. Jeff Gordon, one of the best all time at these kinds of facilities, but neither has won in 2010.
Rudiman's car works really good to the